morning. Good morning, everyone. Greetings. Welcome in to the Peak Wellness Hour. I know Queen Edith has been here for the past couple weeks. I have been MIA, so it's super awesome to be back with the Queen on this platform for the Peak Wellness Hour. How's your week going so far, Queen? Or I guess not so far. Week.
It's been busy, but it's been good. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. I
Awesome.
missed you.
I missed you also. Definitely. And so we're so glad to be here with you all. Make sure you guys come in and like and share, please, and thank you. We promise we are only going to give you positive information, so don't be afraid to share this conversation. So today we're going to be talking about staying heart smart and healthy. February is American Heart Month. I said
I
national.
don't.
So go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you, but I don't see us on our Facebook page.
What did I do? Okay, keep talking. Oh, you know what I did? Let's see what I did.
No.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm going to fix this.
Hello. Happy February. It's exciting to come your way. I'm excited to have the Queen here with me because you know what? The last 2 weeks have been, what do I say? Anyway, it's National Heart Awareness Week this week, and that is the topic we want to talk to you about. The interesting thing is that it's a big red heart week, which stands for the heart, and this also stands for love because it's Valentine's Day. And I'm jealous that I didn't even think about that earring or something red. Don't you love her earring? Look at her if you haven't seen it. Take a good look at her earring. I love it.
Thank you,
That's
Queen.
definitely going with the theme of the month and of the weekend and of the rest of the month for us.
Yes.
So, National Heart Awareness Week, nurse, tell me about it.
Well, it's interesting because, I like to dabble in, the little holidays and, whatever for the month. There's so many you could find. And so, we have Valentine's Day coming up, right? So with this conversation, we want to make sure that we're spreading some love, we're sharing some love with caregivers, whether you're family, whether you're in the healthcare profession. And so it kind of goes hand in hand when we're talking about heart health, when we're talking about being caregivers, right? And taking care of ourselves, when we're talking about watching for signs and symptoms of those that we care for. Look, I know 1 in 5 adults age 20 and over, and that's a young age, have reported having some kind of cardiac event in their life. So what's going on, and not necessarily a heart attack, just some kind of cardiac event where it's blockage, where it can be different things. So what's going on where we're not taking care of our hearts, even at a young age like that? And a lot of times you find that stress plays into what goes on internally. It always plays a part. When we're stressed out, our bodies just get out of whack. And you have to remember that our heart is that muscle that's pumping everything, all the blood, wherever it needs to go. It's a vital organ, and it goes without saying, but we don't think about that the way we eat, the things we put in our bodies, drinking, smoking, all these different things. And a lot of those things are coping mechanisms, even eating. A lot of people stress eat, right? When we're overwhelmed. Yes. Some of us don't eat enough. Some of us don't drink enough fluids. And now we're looking at heart issues. So it's so much that goes into it. And that's what we're going to break down today. Did you want to say anything, Queen?
Yes. You touch on some of the factors that's causing many of us to have heart issues, and especially and unfortunately at a very young age. People young are having heart issues. But I think the season we live in, it's almost like the performance-based season in our lives, because everybody wants to outshine the other in this season of influencers and social media. These our young ladies, especially on is it Instagram and Snapchat, have to come up with a look or something every day, look different. We have all these filters for even photographs, so competition, performance-based period in our lives, all those things are causing us stress. A lot of young ladies are not eating well. When they eat, they're gonna try to throw everything up. They'll chew it up and spit it up and throw it up, and pressure. We've allowed external pressures, competitions where people think all of those things are affecting us.
Absolutely. And
it's rough on our youth. It is.
It really is. And when you look at that, if those things are not addressed and corrected, it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes who we are as adults. And we all know as adults, it can be complicated to choose to change, even for the better, right? So we have to, you made a very valid point. It's a very, very valid point. That is something to think about when we're talking about the heart when it comes to love. We need to take time and love on our youth that are coming up, that are the future of this world. There are future caregivers, so we have to make sure that there's a heart for investment in that, because it is very dangerous. The lifestyles that we live when it comes to taking care of our bodies, and we take things for granted, and everything connects. Your heart issue is just not your heart issue. You're looking at kidney issues and liver issues. All of it goes together. Cancer situation. I mean, all of these things go together. So being cautious about that is super important. Knowing that your body is a temple. Your body is valuable. You only get one, right? We gotta take care of our bodies. Grand Rising, Queen Kathy B. Thank you for joining us. So I think it's super important to take care, to think about that. Even when we're eating, I know people that are struggling. If you have situations, I know someone that's dealing with kidney failure and diabetes together. If you all don't know about, diets when it comes to what you can and can't eat, with kidney failure and whatnot, it's tricky. With diabetes, it's very tricky. So having it where you have to eat so many carbs, but you can't eat so many carbs, it's really tricky. And the situation with this individual, it'll cause issues with your heart. Diabetes causes issues with your heart, and we don't think about how our bodies are set up so miraculously to all work together. So with her situation, we talk about eating fruits and vegetables all the time. If you're a kidney patient, green leafy vegetables are not for you. You cannot eat those things. So potassiums, vitamin K, certain things that you can't mess with that we promote as healthy, right? So it's very important to pay attention to what you're eating, especially when it comes to seasoning. Yeah, I love to season. I love to cook, you all. I'm still waiting on an African dish from Queen Edith, but I'll patiently wait. But we had to pay attention like this to the salt intake. I started using Himalayan salt, but you still can't just go shaking that stuff all over everything. It has to be in moderation. And I know here in America, it's different. I know I've heard if you go over to, I can't remember, I think over Asia, maybe in China somewhere, I think, with their McDonald's. Where did my sister go? If she was in Egypt. In Egypt, they have the McDonald's there. McDonald's is everywhere. But they don't put salt on their fries. She said that the fries tasted totally different. They don't use salt, and they use actual potatoes, where the McDonald's here, my husband told me, they put 19 ingredients in their French fries. What do you think they're putting in the French fries? It's a potato. How could you have 19 ingredients? But we're flavoring food to pleasure, right? And not for nourishing, nourishment. So the way we eat is very dangerous. And I think about the movie The Matrix. And when I first saw that movie, I thought to myself, I couldn't imagine eating that food that they were eating on the little ship. But it's about nourishment. It's about a survival mindset, if you will. And a lot of people don't want to eat things that don't taste like they've been seasoned beyond belief. We have to adjust our mindsets to that. And that is definitely an Americanized thing, a Western thing. We have to readjust that. Some of the things we eat. No, I'm not going to say anything. Teach his own. I like me a nice slice of bacon and pig feet and chitlins. No, stay away. I don't understand it. And I'm going to land my plane there. Quick had to say chemicals in our food and additive chemicals for consumption. Right.
And the scary part is this: it's food is being modified.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got onions, and when you cut real onions,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way your eyes won't burn out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not soft. The onions, I bought some onions, and I'm not gonna say where. It felt like cotton wool. It's that soft.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear the crunch from when you slice onions. So what are we eating? Seriously, what are we eating? I was gonna say when Queen Bee puts out that our food is chemicals in our food, I was gonna say, so we need to cook our own food. But even the vegetables,
yes,
that you use to cook, and the fresh ingredients, you have to be careful. In order to get the healthy one, you got to go to a Whole Foods kind of shop and spend so much money on so little.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what, though? I read somewhere in an article some time ago, they were talking about how Whole Foods, I believe it was Whole Foods, was in trouble because they were being pressured to put chemicals and additives into their produce and whatnot. And that was a government push, just like with, the farmers. Where's all this food going? We're burning down crops. I don't even want to get into the government thing here, but we have to think about those things. And like you said, even the vegetables, they're high in sodium, high in everything, high in sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I cut onions this morning. I said, this is definitely modified. This is definitely modified. And not that I want to boast or compare, but when I go to Ghana, and I eat chicken. Oh my! When I eat some of the fresh food, they taste so different. But
let
anyway,
me ask you: Do you shop at the international stores?
I do. I mean, because there are things that I eat that will not be in the regular grocery store, so I go.
So, would you say that those particular things that you eat, like as far as African foods, do they taste the same here and from the international stores as they do?
The thing is this: when you're exporting things into the country, there is a requirement that has to be met. So no, they don't taste it's almost like a version. That's the way I see it. It's a version. It looks like it. It doesn't necessarily taste like it, to be honest with you. It doesn't.
But do you think that it's healthier than like your Kroger's? I'm not even go there at Walmart, but like your Kroger's and Myers and whatnot. Do you think it's healthier as far as the products there because they're from other countries, or do you think that because of
they all have to meet the same FDA standards? So at the end of the day, it's basically the same. Except that there are things I will not get. I mean, I will not get fufu powder in Kroger. There are some things. I like Weetabix, which is a British thing. You will not get it in a regular grocery store. So it's not just the African. They all have to meet the same standards. Like I remember, no, I'm not going to say this here. Someone will say whatever. But yeah, nah. It's I don't care how. Listen, you go there, you eat McDonald's like your sister and your husband said. It is different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is very differently,
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those places don't use a whole lot of fertilizer in their food, in
Okay.
growing the food. So some of these leaves and stuff grow naturally.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over the place. You can go out there's some leaves. My mother will go out into the yard. There's some cocoyam leaves and she will plant it in the yard. So she
Mm-hmm.
just goes out, gets them and cooks. So it's fresh, it's tasty, it's organic, nothing special, just the natural earth bringing something
Right.
up. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you shattered my glass with the international thing. I had high hopes. I was really trying. I was hoping, but that does
You
make
mean
sense.
you mean going to the international markets? No,
Mm-hmm.
no. They
Yeah,
have to meet FDA standards.
that makes sense. That
It
makes
is what it
perfect
is.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's at least that's my observation.
Mm-hmm.
But so we delved in so quickly with food. But don't we all love food? Look at my cheeks.
Look at mine.
Don't we all love
I
food?
love food.
Food brings family together. Is it what weekend is this? Super Bowl. Is this Super Bowl weekend this weekend or when?
It is. It is. It's
You
tomorrow.
see, it's tomorrow. We gather around food.
Mm-hmm.
Food is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be fun at all times. But why would we kill ourselves? This morning I asked myself, what are you eating? Are you trying to kill yourself? In fact, I said that to myself, are you trying to kill yourself? Because literally we are using food as something that's killing us rather than using it to nourish our bodies, like you said. So we need to be cognizant of the fact that food is healthy. There are foods we can eat and continue to stay healthy, right?
Absolutely.
And you made some great points there that kidney affects our heart, kidney issues, diabetes, and all other ailments affect our heart some way, somehow. Because kidney flushes things out of the system. It avoids, having blockages and all of that. So at least it helps. But if we are not eating the right thing, your kidney is not flashing out the extra stuff. Eventually, the heart suffers.
Yes.
So our annual physicals.
They're necessary. I think, and people healthcare is so weird anymore. It's hard to find, when you have your doctor, it's hard to see the same doctor. You might have a family physician, but anymore, how often do you go to the doctor and you're able to see the same person every time? So anymore we become a chart, and they're just reading this chart and just doing, diagnosing and going through the process accordingly. It's not individualized. So I think that getting routine checkups is important, especially when you have underlying issues. Especially as women, we tend to let things go until something is really going on. And it's out of control. So I think it's important to stay up on your physicals, but at the same time, be accountable at home. If you know something's going on, if you know that you're getting dizzy, if you're getting lightheaded, things like that, your blood, whatever it is, monitor your blood pressure. Write those down every day so you can keep a track of that, so that when you do have that appointment 3 months down the road that you scheduled tomorrow, you have that information and it's validated when you're trying to communicate with your physician. I think that's very important. If you're seeing signs, I know people like to look things up all the time. And if you're not careful, you'll look up things. I think I got that. I think I have that. That's me. So pay attention to your body. Your body will talk to you from the inside out. You just have to pay attention and slow down. So yeah, checkups are definitely important. Like I said, your physician is not going to know you like you know you. So be honest when you're having things going. Well, I don't want to tell the doctor this happened. Well, you should. You should tell the doctor that you're not taking your blood pressure medication or whatever you're supposed to be taking anymore. And now they're trying to treat something that, unsuccessfully. If you go to the doctor
and they think it's the medication,
yes,
and they'll try to give you something else. Meanwhile, you're not even taking it. Mm-hmm. And that is not in your interest.
No, that and I've seen so many seniors, so many older adults do it. I'm like, why don't you say this? I don't know. I just want to tell them, why? And now you're on something else that you're not going to take. I don't understand.
Queen, you bring older adults. I think we jump into this quickly, but we will keep going. We will keep going. So you talked about medication of adults. I have experienced adults, 90-year-olds, 80-something-year-olds, who live alone, putting together their own pills. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's their children or grandchildren or who do this for them, but when they are not there, the adults are doing it. Sometimes the adult is not doing it, but maybe the family member is setting it up 2 weeks at a time. Mm-hmm. And then you go there and find out that 2 weeks meds are gone in a week. Mm-hmm. There is no monitoring, there is no supervision. And my something is bothering me a little bit because we think that our parents are mentally alert. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are. Mm-hmm. But for their medications and stuff, I think we need to keep a stiff eye on it. Because sometimes you set this up and they go here, they pick this one, they're all sitting together. Today they take from here, and then they look at the other one a little confused. Oh, I didn't take yesterday's meds, but they took it. So it's creating confusion, and it worries me. It really, really worries me. Mm-hmm. That I personally don't think, and it's not because of peak home care, but I personally don't think that anybody above the age of 75 should be doing almost everything on their own anymore.
And I guess it depends on it depends on the mindset. I could probably agree with you overall, just because of what's going on with the body again here in the United States. I'm sure that you can agree that in other parts of the world, people do live longer than we do. They live healthier, longer lives than we do. Back to how we treat our bodies. What I've noticed is, with the pharmacy situation, I've noticed that more times than not, people are not taking their medications. That's what I've noticed, that they're being skipped and they're not being taken because it's overwhelming. Even if someone's setting up the pill containers, it's overwhelming. You're looking at this bottle, this case, and it's like you got 5-10 pills in here, and all you see is colors, and it's overwhelming. It's frustrating, as we get older. A lot of times we have a more difficult time swallowing, and we're on all these medications, and that's something else with the physical situation. I think it's important for us to have do medication managements. If you've been on this medication for so long, is it still beneficial? Do you still need this medication? Especially as senior citizens, if you're taking a multivitamin, you're taking vitamin D, vitamin C, you're taking zinc, all that stuff is in a multivitamin. Why do you have senior citizens taking 5-6 different type of vitamins? Plus this multivitamin. It's overwhelming. And a lot of those medications are not beneficial. Look at the side effects on a lot of things. Like we talked about the other organs, you have medications that might treat heart blockage, but might cause kidney failure with extended use. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times we're not paying attention to the fact that we've been on these medications for so long that it's caused kidney damage and liver damage, but it's helping treat this heart situation. Medication management is very important. Very, very important.
I think we need to dedicate time for that. Talk about it.
I agree.
Because I came across an instance where one person is on maybe 2 or 3 different blood pressure medications, and they all do different things. You as a nurse will know better. They all do different things. and it's not uncommon,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. We need to have a dedicated time to talk about medication management. I feel like even if you don't want a caregiver, have a nurse come in, you know, a nurse Angelina, and come in and set up your pills,
I think it's very
and
important.
it's I think it's important. So whether the family is traveling, they're not in town,
Mm-hmm.
that gives them peace of mind. I think also that some pharmacies have it such that they do little packets daily and they ship
Mm-hmm.
it. So all the client needs to do is to get that packet. But if they mix up the dates and everything, it can be a
Yeah.
whole other thing. Because sometimes I don't know whether it's Monday or Saturday, to be honest with you.
Right.
And so, so some people have the calendar where somebody will flip it. Today is Monday, January 31st, or whatever. Even then, if there's nobody there to do it, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like companionship it's a no-brainer if you ask me. I feel like
I
it's a
think our
no-brainer, but
seniors love companionship. If you if you all have not worked with seniors, especially ones that live alone, they enjoy chatting. They will talk to you about everything from
I
here to the
tell
moon, and it's
you, you
awesome.
go there for 10 minutes and you spend
Mhm,
2 hours. Like,
mhm. Yeah, and it's good
and
time spent.
yeah.
It's great time spent. I was going to say also with the medication, I was going to say, I think it's important to educate caregivers as far as family members that are setting up those medications, all because you're taking them out the pill bottle and putting them into, this divider. You should know what your loved one is getting. You should know what they're getting. Um, like you said, with the blood pressure medications, you have some people that are on 3 different blood pressure medications. Well, why would you take them all in the morning or all at night?
Mm.
Why would so this one's twice a day, this one's once a day? Why wouldn't you space it out? Even though you have the one at say 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., then you have another one. Why would you take them both at 6 o'clock? Space that out. Otherwise, you're dealing with issues where your blood pressure's dropping, things like that, and you don't know why. And you think it's supposed to help because you're on blood pressure medication. So what's the problem? Those are problems. So I think when it comes to medications, education is very important. I don't think that I don't think that people take the time to do that. I don't think it's done enough with physicians giving instruction, nor pharmacies. And they'll tell you certain don't this might interact yada yada, but something like that, like spacing things out, is important. So make sure you all
You raise a
ask.
very important point. Yes, spacing them out, it helps. You
Mm-hmm.
raise that's very important because they said twice a day, all of them twice a day. Why take all of them 6 a.m.? You can take one at 6, you can take one at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is really important.
It
That
is.
is really important. We delved deep into this, but now, so National Heart Day, and I'm reading here that for women, we should wear red as much as possible for the month of February. It's not just about love, even though Valentine, we all see red stuff, and we think about Valentine's Day because that's what everybody knows. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, because there's a call interrupted. But it's also about our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
The heart literally is the center of our lives. When your heart, and unfortunately, you can't see that. I did my physicals a couple of weeks ago, and the doctor gave me a form to go and get a heart scan. I haven't even made that phone call yet. So I'm going to make that phone call on Monday and schedule it so I can get my heart scanned. But the one thing I have to say is this. I find it a great privilege to live in this part of the world because they make it a point for you to get these things checked. In other parts of the world, it's not. It's not. It's not like at the beginning of the year, your insurance company will tell you schedule your this, schedule your mammogram, schedule your this, schedule your that. I wanted to say this. You talked about not seeing the same doctor. Sometimes we don't see the same doctor on and on, so we become a chat rather than being known. The other one thing that affects this is the insurance company. I did my mammogram in one hospital. This year, when it was time to do my mammogram, they said, we don't accept this insurance anymore. Now I got to figure out what hospital accepts my insurance, go to another place that they will send my child over there.
Wow. And then, and a lot of senior citizens deal with that, as far as insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, you're very limited. That's why I said it's important to make sure that you stay up with your health, because a lot of times, depending on your insurance, and let's just be honest about it, depending on your insurance, some people get better care than others based off of your insurance, and it's just a matter of fact, when you look at the cost of healthcare, who's paying for these, for these resources, these supplies. So then that's just how it goes. So you have to be your own advocate. As far as being caregivers, we have to be advocates for the people that we care for, and have to have a voice, and we have to be informed on what's going on. I think it's always important to keep an updated medication list. I think it should be written down somewhere to where if something happens, someone knows what you're on. Especially if you're not accustomed to going to the doctor regularly, and staying on top of your stuff, for whatever reason, you've had these issues. And so you just started taking something that you had years ago, in the cabinet. Are you supposed to be taking that? You know what I'm saying? You should probably write that down. So, and we do that, we got old, steroids, for, we had this inflamed hip or knee or whatever. Now we found this steroid pack that now something's going on with our back. And so now, you see what I'm saying?
And they can't read the expiration date because they can't see it. I can't even talk about the number of times when I've been in a seniors how do you call pantry, and you go through canned food screen, and half of those things are expired years, not months, years, and they still sitting. No, it's not a joke.
I know.
This is real. This is practical. Not somebody. I have opened pantries and looked at food cans, and most of them are expired. And it's a husband and a wife living together. Children are not in town, living together. The wife is the man is taking care of the wife. A lot of the time, that's what I've observed. And the pantry is full of expired food that is expired years ago.
Wow.
And they can't read it.
That's another thing, the small print on everything. They can't, no, I'm not to be disrespectful, but I don't know how at 42, I'm starting to need glasses. I need to go get my eyes checked. I don't know why people continue to provide senior products that they can't read. I don't understand it. So that, having someone as an advocate as you get older is definitely important. Otherwise.
When families think of home care, they think about the personal needs of mom or the personal needs of dad. But there's so much that goes into it. There's so much that goes into it, especially if they live on their own and they do their own shopping and stuff. They buy things they think they will need, and they don't need them, and they don't use them, and they sit on their shelves, it sits in the pantry, and it goes on year after year after, and it's there. And nobody's checking these things.
And you know what, though? A lot of times when you have couples that are in that situation, elderly couples, I think a lot of times children think that because they have one another, that things are good, and one might be better off than the other, so if the mother seems to have forgetfulness, maybe she shouldn't be driving, but dad does okay to drive, but you haven't seen dad drive. He does well enough to make sure you won't take his keys because she can't drive now. So if we don't know that, if you're not reporting falls, if you're not reporting dizziness, if you're not reporting this chronic headache that you've had for, you're not reporting constipation, you know, these are issues. They're issues. And again, lack of communication, and the lack of advocacy for our seniors is unfortunate. And not to make it like they're incapable or debilitated. They just need more support. You know, we always say, we've said it here before, you know, we would never compare an adult to, you know, especially a senior, to a child, you know. But I know a lot of, and we've talked about this, a lot of times parents have this guilt, you know, where now my child has to take care of me. You know, it shouldn't be like this. I'm supposed to take care of you. Well, at 60, 70, 80 years old, I reckon you have. And now it's your turn, right, to receive care and love and support. Look at it like that. No one is trying, you know, it's a blessing to have other people to help you along your journey as you're aging. I like that. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. You know, we're all getting older, but to have someone along that journey to support you, to advocate for you, I think it's a special thing. And it's not a weakness. It is definitely a win. It's definitely a win. And whether that's a family member or home care, you know, companions like Peak, right? I think it's important. And I think it changes the quality of life when we have people in our corners. So.
Wow, you said it. It's not a weakness. It's us coming along to support you. And seriously, you've earned it. You deserve it. This is a season where you can put your feet back up a little more. You know, when you're on your feet, it's not because you have to make lunch and dinner and sandwiches and all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with getting help. And that's the one thing too. I think we are talking about pills and medication and talking about food as medication. So that's what we're going to do. But we live in an era where asking for help has become seemingly a weakness.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that? We were not made to live like independently. Like even with women there, and I don't mean to, but for us as Black women, there's this thing of the strong Black woman. What does that mean? So it makes you carry so much, and you have to do so much. And if for any reason you're asking for help, you are not strong. Where is that coming from?
A place of ignorance.
You are strong means you are resilient, but you also know when you need help. You know when to delegate. You know when you know that my strength and your strength are opposite. So you compliment me and I compliment you, and that's a lot of stress on women. You know, and I've said about Black women, but women in general, wives, mothers, we're taking the whole family on. You're going to work, you're earning money and supporting your husband or supporting your home if you don't have a husband. You are trying to run a business, you're trying to bring that extra money because that one job is definitely not doing it. You have children, you're going to sports, why can't we get help?
Don't forget about the dog.
The community. The community that is helping each other. Why do we have to do it all?
Yeah.
Our heart health. Wouldn't we rather be healthy? I can never be a nurse, period. I can't. Listen, I have a client I take care of, and she has what do you call it? She had a stroke, so she has left side weakness. And if I have to turn her and she screams, and nurse might say, you'll be all right, and go ahead and do it. But no, I can take it. You see, so there are things that I can never do. And the faster I recognize it, the better I will be. Because then I'll find someone who knows it, who can handle the pain, and will do it nicely, but know that, listen, this is the medicine you need to get better, so you do it. So why are we using strong as can do everything. Strong doesn't mean we can do everything.
Right. And I think strength is, I think when we think about it, we make those statements, I think it is referencing the distance that we put between ourselves and weakness, you know? So it's not a matter of saying that you're strong because, you know, I'm a strong nurse, I'm a strong, whatever, you know, but I'm weak at what, you know, and nobody wants to look at those things where, if you look at it differently on a more positive side, I know like, at a job interview, it's the same question. You know, what are some of your strengths? What are some of your weaknesses? I always tell people, if you ask me about my weakness, there I don't. I have some challenges that I would like to tackle. Okay. Weakness, no. Have some challenges I would like to tackle. And what are they? Well, sometimes I feel I care too much. Sometimes
And
I
that's
don't
both a
know when to
strength and
stop. Something, you know, so we have to look at it like that, where some things you just we can't do everything, and that's okay. That is certainly okay.
actually we are not made to do everything,
No,
Queen.
no. If
That
we were, we'd be in a better
where
position in life,
is the
wouldn't we?
interconnectedness? Where is the
Mhm.
the community? I mean, if I can do everything, I really don't need you, and I do need you.
Right,
So yeah, I mean,
and I think a
yeah.
lot of it goes with lack of expectations. You know, I don't, you're my sister, but I don't trust you to take care of mom like I do, because she calls me more than she calls you. So I don't trust you to take care of her the way, not that you can't, I'm just better at it. So because I feel like that, now you feel a certain kind of way. Well, now you're upset about it. So I just won't tell you anything what's going on, mom. I won't tell you, you know, now I'm doing it by myself because I'm so strong to take on this because I do it better than you. But now in my strength, I don't want to share the load with you because I told you you couldn't do it. I told you I'm better at it than you. So now I'm not going to ask you for help. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? We continue to do these things where we set ourselves up for failure, and there's no logic behind how we operate. You know, I'm a mother of boys. I have my boys, you know, my young men. I'll come in and I'll have a gazillion bags on my arms, you know, from the grocery store. My husband, you know, he'll have a handful of bags. He'd be like, "Why do you have to get everything? Why do you feel like you had to do everything?" And it's like, I don't feel like that. I'm not trying to show you out. I just want to keep coming back and forth. But that's how it appears, though. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, now I'm carrying all this stuff. It's digging into my arms. You know, it's uncomfortable. I'm about to drop my purse. You know, it's just a mess. Why? It's not logical the way we do things. I'm gonna be late, so I got to run here, run here. The bank's gonna close at 5. It's 2 till. Can I make it? Like, what's going on here? There's no. We're not.
So then we are not at our best.
There you go.
We are not at our best. We are juggling so much. We're doing so much that it looks like everything is done by half because I just have to get it done. However, you know, and so we are not giving our best, and that is the problem. It's becoming mediocre.
It is.
You know, and that is a problem. That is a problem, and I can see where your husband say, "Why do you feel you have to do everything?" Seriously, why do you feel you have to do everything?
And you know what? The fact that I can say no is enough for me to stop doing it. Not stop doing, but stop doing it in the manner that I'm doing it. You know, that's what I'm saying. When we don't have rhyme and reason for things, we have to stop and think about that. You know, yeah, I don't want to keep taking trips out to the car, but it's a nice walk.
The children are there, the young
exercise.
men are there. They're happy to help. That's the other thing. We are not, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, because I've been to homes where the mother is doing laundry, taking care of grandma, and the children are walking about. You do everything, and maybe that's how we feel valued. That's what we think in our minds, unconsciously or subconsciously. those are the things that make us valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that make us needed. If I don't do it, my children will need me. I want them to need me.
Mm-hmm.
My husband won't need me. So when I leave, you find you when I leave, they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I leave, they'll suffer, they'll miss me. But you'll be surprised that you leave and they come back and everything is all together. Like, okay, they don't need me. Oh my God. And then we begin to feel insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And women, that is not true. Our value is not in doing everything and slaving to the point that at the end of the day, we are so tired. Our children, our husbands cannot even enjoy us
Mm-hmm.
because we're really tired.
You just said
We
something
really,
really important with the value and the significance of self-value, and even like thinking about older adults, or as we get older, all of us, with a sense of value for your own life comes a sense of control. And if you can't control your life, if you feel like you're losing control of your situations, your circumstances, the ability to do everything, as we get older, it gets more pressing to question our value. Now my children are gone. I don't have anyone to take care of. They don't need me. Like you said, my spouse has passed. They don't need me. My grandchildren live out of state. All these things. Where's the value? And now because I feel like I'm losing value, I feel like I'm losing control. And now I feel like I'm losing self. So no, I don't want you to come in and help me, daughter. I don't want you to come in and get through my stuff, sister. I don't want you to come in and spend time, caregiver, because it's taking away my value. It's taking away my control. And I promise you all, if we really understand, like we talked about before, the benefit of unity and connecting with one another, there's value in that, and there's greatness in that. And you can control that. You can control the living your best life the best way you can. You might not be able to do what you did before, but there's still some control in your voice, and the way you think. So yeah, that was very powerful with the value part.
you see, and the other thing is that, and because we do everything. I have a very good friend whom I love so dearly, and every time you call her, hey, how are you doing? And I worked 12 hours last night, and I had to come and do this thing, and I came home and I did that, and I'm so tired and I'm sleeping. And when she's that day that she's off and she's not working, and you call her, oh, I've been sleeping, so I'm so sorry, Lord have mercy on me, I'm being lazy. And you see, we have surrounded ourselves with busyness because maybe that is the love language. And when all is said and done, and you become an empty nester
Mm-hmm.
with nobody to take care of, you're not cooking that big pot of soup and chili and all of that, and your husband, if you have one, is not eating as much anymore because the older you get, the less you eat, or you are alone and there's nobody to do it. That's when depression sets in.
Mm-hmm.
That's when depression sets in, mental health issues begin to set in. Your heart is not at rest.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart is not at rest. And if you're talking about National Heart Month, well, I guess it all comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to learn to value who we are without seeking to please everybody and killing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out who we are. Who are you outside of your job, outside of your business, outside of your spouse, outside of your finances, seriously, outside of what yeah, outside of everything.
Everything.
And when you are stripped naked, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you figure out who you are naked, And you can look into the mirror and say, I love Edith. You are this person. Has nothing to do with busyness.
Mm-hmm.
Then you begin to come to peace. Everything you do is a little extra. Not because you're trying to find value in all of the outside, but you find value in who God has made you, or whoever you serve, or whoever that God is to you. Find peace in your nakedness, literally and not literally. Find peace in your nakedness. Because your heart will rest then.
Yes. Ooh, I love it. Good word. Look, good word. That's so true. That's so true. And I know we're almost out of time. I wanted to tell you all, make sure you're paying attention. I'm gonna read this off. You want to pay attention to when it comes to heart attacks and whatnot, cardiac events. Make sure you're paying attention to if you're having pain in your shoulder blades, your arm, your chest, your jaw, okay, and then your upper abdomen. Because if you think your heart's right there, is radiating to all those spots, right? And we don't think about that. We think, this chest
pain. Did
you
say jaw?
Your jaw. Yep, your jaw, because it's radiating. What is it, the trigeminal? What vessel? Don't give me a line, so I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about as a nurse. I'm not going to start naming off body parts.
We will have to go into these. We will have to go into these.
Definitely.
Again, next week. Yeah, we have to go into these next week.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm writing. So shoulder blades, jaw, what?
So shoulder blades, your arm, says the chest, the jaw, left arm, and upper abdomen. So that's when you're talking about, it feels like indigestion sometimes, heartburn. Pay attention to those things. And if you are someone that has heartburn often, you might want to look at, again, what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, side effects of medications, because you don't want to mistake a heart attack for heartburn. And if you pay attention to those signs, you can tell the difference. Circumstances you can have a heart attack at rest. So you don't have to actually be active and doing something. You can be sitting down and have a heart attack or a cardiac event. You're going to be looking for dizziness, fatigue, lightheadedness. If your skin is clammy or cold, or you're breaking out into sweats, that's a real big telltale sign. Nausea and vomiting, indigestion. In your neck, if you start feeling discomfort or tightness, same in your arm, tightness, and discomfort, and then you're going to experience anxiety naturally. It's going to feel like somebody's sitting on your chest. That pressure is going to be real. So don't mistake that. Palpitations, your heart beating quickly, shortness of breath. So I'm saying that to say, make sure you're paying attention to your senior loved ones. Don't discount them for, they're always saying that, or they always have chest pain, or because they're on, blood pressure medication, they might have nitro. It's not just chest pain. Don't treat it like it's just chest pain. And again, especially with women, we're so busy. Like I said, I'm carrying all these bags and something starts to feel funny. I might say it's because I pulled a muscle, because, me carrying these bags. But there have been people that have gone to the hospital and, they come in, they say, you've had 5 heart attacks in the past, it shows you've had 5 heart attacks. And you have no idea that you've had one. Those things happen. And all the while you're doing damage to your heart. So back to your question earlier, as far as getting physicals, absolutely. There have been people that have stroked out multiple times throughout the day and have no idea. And then you wind up passed out and somebody sends you to the ER and you find out you've had multiple strokes. So we have to pay better attention to our bodies. We have to love on ourselves. And you cannot be too busy to pay attention to signs and symptoms that are indicating that something's going on with your body, especially as women. And they say men are more likely.
I really, really, really would like us to start with this next week because I have so many questions.
Yes.
I've written that down. I have so many questions about some of these things, and I just want to say this. I don't know if you're done or not, but I want you to continue this next week. Educate us because this is key. This is
Okay.
key. But I need to say that even before we end, knowing that is the end, we're going to go into details. Water. Let's drink water.
Yes. Yes. Plenty of water. Plenty of water. And I'll say this really quickly with the water, if you're dealing with low blood pressure, you need to be drinking water. It'll get your blood pressure up. A lot of people that have low blood pressure, they're not drinking enough fluids. Drink your water. It's good for your heart. It's good for your health.
It's
Definitely.
amazing what water will do, right? It's
Mhm.
amazing what just, drinking enough water will do for us.
I agree. And a lot of our seniors, people don't like drinking water. Get flavored. I'm telling you, Crystal Light, whatever you need to flavor up some water, something with some electrolytes in it, not Gatorade, get some water. And just the packets that you just pour into your water bottles. We have a client and I would go and the daughter bought the packets, electrolyte packets, and those I hadn't seen before. I meant to ask her where she got them from. But it was like a lemon lime kind of lemonade flavor. And I went in and I opened up all his bottles of water and I poured the packets in there and put them
I
back in the
did that
refrigerator.
yesterday.
Yes. So every time he went in there, he wasn't about to drink that water, but he would drink the lemonade, the flavored water. So
When you hand it over to him and it's called, oh wow. He will
yeah.
drink it so immediately. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a way to doing that. So if you're saying that your parent, your senior loved one does not drink water, I need you to put your heart into it and try. And that's one way to start. Try with that. Even if hot beverages, try to switch out coffee for tea. Hot tea. It's a cup of water. Try the green tea. Clean out your system. But we have to be more proactive with that. So definitely speak to your loved ones about that. Be an activist for our seniors, an advocate for our seniors. And yeah. So yeah, we want to make sure you all come back.
Right?
What's that?
And for us as caregivers too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, we are almost out of time. We want to make sure you all come back next week. We're going to start, I guess we'll finish talking about heart health, right?
No, we haven't finished. We're going to keep continuing. Yeah. We're going to talk about love.
Yes. So yes, you all make sure you join us next week, same time. I was here on time today. I think I was a little late. Queen wasn't. Queen was always on time. I was a little late. My weakness. But we got everything up and running. There was nothing faulty going on with the computers like it has been. I'd be having a time over here. So I am super looking forward to next week. We're looking forward to next week with you all. Make sure you tune in same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My apologies to Facebook. I got all these different trinkets at the top of StreamYard, so I connected it to the wrong place. So make sure you all check us out on the Peak Home Care Associates Facebook page, as well as the Peak Home Care Associates YouTube page. And I didn't put it on here. You can follow us. Where is our information for Peak? That's what I didn't do, Queen. Make sure if you have any questions, you find us at peakhomecareassociates.com. We are here for your home care needs. We are here to help you. Is that the office number? That's not what I wanted to show. Yeah, we're here for your needs. And it's such a privilege to be able to have these conversations with you all. And it does boil down to us wanting you to have the best home care service possible. So definitely look in to, if you're looking for home care, definitely check out Peak Home Care Associates. But we enjoy being able to talk to you about, health and living your best life all day. We can talk about this all day, but unfortunately
we can, and I miss having you on here. Yes. And I just want to take advantage and wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day on Wednesday. I don't know what you all planned, but if you have a spouse, someone you love, sometimes it's not about all the money and all the going out and all the craziness. Hey, get some feet massages. If you need some oils, reach out to Queen Angelina. She'll show you where to get some good loving the nice, relaxing, calming oils. Massage each other's feet. Listen, it's too crowded out there sometimes. Massage each other's feet. Do each other's feet. Turn the light down low. Play some soft music. Spend time alone. Talk. Hang out.
Yeah.
These things are free, and yet you're not taking advantage of them.
And here's one more. How about this? Spend some time loving on yourself. How can you love on yourself differently every day this month?
Listen, let me see if I can get myself a massage. I could use that. Oh my God.
Yes.
I could use a massage. So yes, if you don't have a spouse, get a girlfriend, get a a male, whatever, boyfriend. And I don't mean in any sexual way. Do something together. Do her feel, let her do yours. Sit down, watch a movie.
Spend time with a friend. You can spend time with a friend. Someone close, spend some time. Spend some good time.
But I really want to talk to spouses. Talk. Hang out. COVID exposed how poorly our relationships are. Because when people have to stay home and they can't stand each other, so much abuse, so much divorce among couples during COVID, especially those who were at home.
Definitely.
We hide from the reality of our relationships, on our jobs. So we work so much and we can't stand each other. It's no marriage. Please, love each other.
And if you need some support and some advocacy in that area in your marriage, if you need some counseling advice, Queen Edith is here for it. She specializes in that. So you all want to get in touch with her, go ahead and you can send her an email at info@peakassociates. She'll get it, So reach out if reach out. I believe that counseling and therapy is good for anybody. You don't have to be going through horrible things. It's nice to talk to people and stay on track too, right? And feel valued and validated like we talked about. So take control of your life, taking control of your relationships, your marriages, and reach out to Queen Edith in that aspect. See, we do all kinds of things here. We do all kinds of things. So connect with us. We want you to like, share, and subscribe again and see how we can help you. We definitely appreciate your time.
Enjoy love and enjoy your heart this week.
Yes. Until next time, peace, love, and blessings. And happy Valentine's Day.
Yay.